Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Please, can I ask you to be seated and join us in a moment of reflection with my chaplain, Father Paul Robinson.
Good evening. As you just said, my name's Paul, and he's going to read it while I'm talking about it here. But my name's Paul. I think I must have been a bad person in the past, because for my sins, I've got to be his chaplain for the year. And I am also the vicar of St Ambrose Leyland, but that's not for me sins. I quite like being that. But I'm just going to he asked me to just give a short reflection, so that's what I'm going to do. I just want us to think about, and encourage you to think about, as you begin this new mayoral year, about welcome, diversity and inclusion, because they're pretty big things, aren't they, when you think about them. I don't know about how you feel when you walk into a room full of strangers like I've just done, because I don't know any of you apart from the mayor. Do you feel uncertain? Do you feel unsure? Do you feel scared? Or are you somebody who feels excited and energized and thinks, bring it on as I come in? I did wonder what kind of welcome I would get, because how we make people feel welcome matters. I've been a chaplain to a mayor before. I'm not going to tell you where it was, because the councillor, who was a friend of mine, said, Paul, it's going to be tough. She went on to tell me our council chamber, she said, can take some getting used to. It's a bit like Daniel going into the lion's den. She said it can be scary. And she's a friend of mine. So I thought, thanks very much. What a welcome that was. The thing is, people think it's easy for people like me to come and talk to a room of strangers and be confident and speak out. But I don't know about you, but that's not always the case, is it? I did try and suss you out as I walked into the room. I have stalked some of you already on Facebook and other stuff. So I was trying to put faces to names as I came in. I did try and stop, but I didn't do very well, really. But I did try and get some kind of sign that maybe I'm welcome. Perhaps not by all of you, but maybe by the most of you. And that for these few minutes, I'm at least part of a part of your group and being included. But two watchwords I want to share with you about diversity and inclusion, because they are part of welcome. As a diverse group, we welcome others. We encourage them to share their thoughts and to feel included. And true inclusion is about making sure someone as diverse as you feels included once they're here, that they have a place at your table. The God I believe in is a God of love, who encourages us to love our neighbour as ourselves, which is always easy in theory, but much harder to do in real life. And that's the same with inclusion. It's easy for us to talk about, but it's hard to do. It's really hard for us to make space for it in our lives, in how we listen, how we speak, how we lead, and how we share our power. The God I worship welcomes all, the sinners, those on the fringes, the unwashed, the hungry, the refugee, the prostitute, men, women, gay, straight, and people of all creeds, colours and nationalities. And the God I believe in will say, come just as you are. And that's inclusion. That is welcoming diversity. And that is risk. But that's the welcome we should offer to all. Should be real, human and generous and full. Because when we do, we don't just change one person's experience. We change the community itself. I'm sure that's something we all want to do. Change the communities from where we come. So just a little short prayer, then I can go home and have my tea. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you that you call us to serve the communities we come from. We pray that we may be inclusive in all of the decisions we make, that we may seek to make our communities a better place. And we ask your blessing upon this meeting in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Thanks very much. Thank you. Enjoy your meeting. I'm going to enjoy my tea.
Thank you very much for that short reflection. So members of the council, welcome to this meeting of the council. Before we start this evening, please can we give a warm welcome to Howard Norris, our interim monitoring officer, as he attends his first full meeting at South Ribble. Welcome. I'll start with some domestic arrangements for the meeting. Due to the regulations surrounding voting, only those members physically present are able to vote. Mobile devices, please ensure that all electronic equipment is either on silent mode or switched off. There are no planned fire alarms, so if it does sound, please leave via the emergency exits. As we're all aware, the meeting is being live streamed during open session for members of the public to watch. If you would like to speak, please press your microphone to let me know, and when I invite you to speak, your microphone will turn red. Please do not obstruct your mouth to ensure that anyone lip reading can do so. And if anyone is having any issues at all, please, as always, let Democratic Services know. Some points on procedure for members. So members asking a question have a maximum of 3 minutes and may ask one supplementary question directly related to the original question for not more than 2 minutes. A member who has spoken once on a motion may not speak again while it is being debated, except in specific circumstances. Also, individual members of the public will be restricted to speaking for a total of 5 minutes during the whole meeting. If I can move to item 1, apologies for absence. Are there any apologies?
There are, Mr Mayor. Apologies have been received from Councillor Howarth, Councillor Pillinger and Councillor Hindle-Taylor.
Thank you. Item number 2, declaration. Apologies, Councillor Walton.
Could I apologise for Councillor Julie Buttery as well? Thank you.
Thank you. And Councillor Martin.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. First interaction, how wonderful. Let's give apologies for Deborah Ashton as well, Councillor Ashton. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, moving on to declarations of interest. Members are reminded of their responsibility to declare any pecuniary interest in respect of matters contained in this agenda. Are there any declarations of interest? No. Okay, moving forward to item number 3, minutes of the meeting on Wednesday, the 5th of March, 2025 of the Council. This item is for decision. Can I please ask the Leader of the Council, Councillor Jackie Alty, to propose that the minutes be approved?
Propose that the minutes of the meeting in full council on the 26th of March here, and I've got the 5th. So do we have was it the 5th?
No, it's 27.
Apologies, it is the 26th of March. Whoever's wrote this script is slightly out.
Okay, so we've got it. So propose the minutes of the meeting of full council on Wednesday, the 26th of March, 2025 are proposed and accepted. Thank you.
Thank you. Is that seconded?
Seconded.
Thank you. Are there any questions on points of accuracy? Okay, can I ask that we go to the vote, please? Okay, thank you. That item is carried. Moving on to item number 4, Mayor's announcements. I'm going to keep it very short. It's been a very busy week as my first week. Firstly, thank you very much to everybody who attended last Wednesday. It was a really good evening, so thank you very much for coming. It has been a busy week. I've been to the Mayor of Chorley's civic banquet, his civic parade, Balshaw School for a festival where I beat the head boy at a paintball competition, which was quite interesting, and held a snake, a real snake. I also have been to the Mayor of Burnley's Tea Party and lots more coming up over the next few days, including tomorrow where I am hosting Lancashire Deaf Village here at the Civic Centre. So I'm very much looking forward to that. And obviously I will keep you updated as and when I go to events. Moving on to item number 5. This is a request to authorise and extend Councillor Hindle-Taylor's absence from meetings of the Council. This item is for decision. I believe that it is now proposed to increase the extension to 6 months. Is that correct? Okay, can I please ask the Leader of the Council, Councillor Jackie Alty, to present the report, including any changes to the recommendations? Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to propose the report as it is in front of you without giving much further details. We want to amend it to 6 months because by the time the next 3 months, we will have to cram it into next month's meeting to agree a further extension. So in order to keep it plain and simple, I just want to make a statement that I think we can all agree that the personal circumstances through which Jo, her children and wider family are currently experiencing require a compassionate response from members tonight. I would also like to confirm that Jo has continued to be active in her role as councillor, meeting the needs of residents who contact her, and is regularly in contact with her fellow councillor and the group leadership. And whilst we support her, we know that she's going through a very difficult time, and we wish to ensure that she isn't penalised for something that is cruel and unusual. So I'd like to propose the extension for a 6-month period to normal routine. Thank you.
Thank you. Is that seconded?
Seconded.
Thank you. Are there any questions from any members of the council? Councillor Green.
Thank you. I don't wish to speak on the particular substantive issue, only to send my best wishes to Councillor Indall-Taylor and hope to see you back as soon as possible. What I do wish to speak about, though, this was the only report which came out to us with proper notice, of 7 days notice before the council meeting, and yet this has been amended on the night. Every other report came out yesterday or this morning, far too late for us to give proper consideration, and yet the one that we did have time to consider has now been amended. And I just think it doesn't show South Ribble in the best of lights. And I hope in the future we ensure that proper notice is given for all reports so that all 50 members can properly consider the reports and come to a decision accordingly. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Green. Councillor Alty, would you like to respond to that?
I'm sure that all efforts will be made to meet your approval next time. And thank you for making our watchers tonight aware of the mistake, which they probably wouldn't have been. And it is an administration error. So, yes, we'll do our best. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other members wishing to speak? Okay, we're now at the end of the debate on this proposal and we'll move to the vote. Just to confirm, the recommendation is that Council approve an extension of 6 months for Councillor Indall-Taylor, allowing her to continue to serve as an elected member on South Ribble Borough Council due to bereavement. Could I ask that we move to the vote, please? Okay, thank you. That item is carried. Moving on to item number 6, appointment of Cabinet members, lead members and member champions for 2025-2026. This item is for decision. Before we consider this item, I have decided that it is appropriate that appointment of the leader of the council should be considered by full council under this agenda item. Can I please ask the leader to make her announcement and propose a new leader?
Thank you, Mayor. With your permission, I'd like to say a few personal words. So I'd like to say good evening, everybody. Today, I officially stepped down as council leader, and I can confirm it's been a huge privilege to serve, make friends, colleagues, and spend time with people. And I'll be honest, it hasn't always been smooth sailing. You'll be surprised to hear. The Nolan Principles, those 7 noble words, we're all meant to live by in public life. They look great on posters, but they're quite difficult when you wrestle with the realities of decisions to be made. And I won't address all the principles, but here are a few comments. You take openness. It is strange how that single word means something so different to everyone. Sometimes being open means admitting that you don't have all the answers, often viewed as a weakness by those who are convinced of their own argument and skills. I've learned that integrity often means holding the line when it's far easier to compromise, when others wish to dominate or insist that their way is the only way. All the time, trying to work toward a peaceful solution. Objectivity isn't just about facts and figures. It's about hearing the voices that aren't always the loudest. Considering lived experience as valuable, particularly when it doesn't relate to your own. And leadership. Well, I've learned that good leadership often means stepping back to let others step up. And that's what I'm doing tonight. I want to formally propose Councillor Matthew Tomlinson as the next leader of the council. Matthew brings experience, a willingness to listen to others, and just the right amount of mischief, which I consider essential qualifications for this role. I know he will lead with integrity, honesty, and that famous calmness of his, although I have enjoyed the privilege of causing raised eyebrows and his jaw to drop on at least one occasion. Matthew, I am genuinely pleased to be proposing you to be council leader. I know the council will be in safe hands and the residents will benefit from your sound leadership. Aniela, your support as deputy leader has always been sound and considered, available whenever needed, but never intrusive, and I've valued your contributions immensely. To everyone I've worked with, council employees and elected members, thank you for the challenges, the support, the debates, and even the raised eyebrows. You have contributed to my personal and professional development. And if I've learned anything from my time in this seat, it's that doing the right thing is rarely the easiest, but it's always the one worth aiming for. So thank you to everybody. Proposing Matthew as the next council leader.
Thank you for that, Councillor Alty. Is that seconded?
It is, but can I just
Of course.
I'd just like to give this gift to Jackie as a thank you from the group.
It's my colour.
Seconded.
Thank you. Are there any questions from any members of the council? Councillor Walton.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Well, congratulations, Matthew. Councillor Tomlinson, the third Labour leader in the last 10 months, as you quietly right to say about us Conservatives groups. But I look forward to the challenges that we all face in the next few years and look forward to working with you. Okay, thank you.
Councillor Turner, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. You said questions, so it's not really a question, it's a statement. First of all, I'd like to thank Jackie for your leadership and your collaborative approach to us when you first came in charge, where you showed empathy towards us for certain issues that were happening at the time. And so we appreciate that. And I'm sorry that you're actually stepping down because I think you've done a really good job as leader. It must be difficult for all leaders of authorities. And it was sort of like talking about inclusivity and diversity. It was nice to have a lady leader of an authority. I think you probably were the only one out of the 12 authorities that was actually female. So we use the word female. I meant there was one more. Well, anyway, it's not enough, is it? So I appreciate that. And I'd like to also congratulate Councillor Tomlinson when if he is elected as leader. I just want you to know, though, that we Lib Dems will continue to scrutinise and challenge on things that we don't agree with, but we will be collaborative if we support your proposals. So thank you.
Thank you for that. Is there any more members of the council wishing to speak? No? Okay. Are there any questions from any members of the public? Okay, we're now at the end of the debate on this proposal and we'll move to the vote. The recommendation is that Councillor Matthew Tomlinson be appointed as leader of the council for the period 2025 to 2027. I can ask you to indicate your vote, please. Okay, that item is carried. Councillor Tomlinson, would you like to say a few words?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'll have to get used to calling you Mr. Mayor, but thank you. I'm genuinely humbled, and I do want to thank Jackie for the way she reached out to me last week. It takes a big person to do what Jackie did, and I'll be forever in awe of the way she's handled this whole situation, and it says a lot about her. I want to thank her for her leadership for the last 10 months. She stepped forward when she was needed, and I think everyone would acknowledge what a fine job she's done. So thank you from me, from our group, and hopefully from the whole council for everything that you did. I'm delighted that Jackie's going to stay as part of the leadership team, and we'll be able to use her skills and experience, and that means a lot to me personally. Can I just say, anybody who's worked with me knows that I do lead from the front, but I lead in a collegiate and collaborative way, and that's not going to change. And I say that to everybody. I'm here, yes, I'm here to lead, but I'm here to listen. And I've always found, and I've said it about scrutiny, as Councillor Turner brought it up, there's never a policy of a council that isn't improved by the appropriate amount of scrutiny. And so if people want to question my decisions, if people want to put forward ideas before we all even come to a decision, then I'm a leader who will listen. I'm really looking forward to the next 2 years. It's going to be an interesting time for local government. I'm looking forward to the challenge of representing not just this council, but the residents of South Ribble as we embark on whatever the future holds for local government here in Lancashire. And thank you to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Tomlinson. Okay, we'll now move on to appointment of Cabinet, lead members and member champions. Cabinet appointments are for noting. We will vote on appointments of lead members and member champions. Can I ask the Leader of the Council, Councillor Matthew Tomlinson, to present the appointments?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm delighted to announce that the Cabinet Member for Strategy and Reform will be me. So that's the first one out of the way. The Deputy Leader of the Council and Cabinet Member for Communities and Housing will be Aniela Bielinski-Gelder. The Councillor Wes Roberts will be the Cabinet Member for Finance and Assets. Councillor Jackie Alty will be the Cabinet Member for Customer Services and Digital. Councillor Colin Sharples will be the Cabinet Member for Economic Growth and Planning. Councillor Matt Farnworth, the Cabinet Member for Culture and Social Justice. And Councillor Claire Hunter will be the Cabinet Member for Leisure, Health and Wellbeing. And Councillor Kath Unsworth will be the Cabinet Member for Environment and Street Scene. With apologies to Councillor Green, not all of these responsibilities are written in stone or even etched in tablets anywhere. Things have happened in the last week or so, and there may be one or two tweaks, which I will announce at the next council meeting. But those will definitely be the Cabinet members, and those broad range of responsibilities as set out in the report will remain. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, I'll take the lead member and member champions as read in the report. Is that correct? Thank you. Okay, is that seconded?
Seconded.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments from any members of the council? You've already spoken, Councillor Tomlinson. I'm sorry. There are no members of the public present, so we're now at the end of the debate for that proposal, and we will move to the vote. If I can ask you to show on the voting panel, please. Okay, thank you. That vote has been carried. Moving on to item number 7, appointments to committees, panels and working groups. This item is for decision. Can we please note that Councillor Phil Smith is being added to the appointment and employment panel as a member, with Councillors Damien Breverton and Peter Molyneux appointed as substitutes. Can I please ask the Leader of the Council, Councillor Matthew Tomlinson, to present the report?
Thank you, Mayor, and my apologies to our two new, a new lead member and a new member champion who I meant to mention in the last report. I'm sure that Jay and Elaine will do a terrific job, and I'm really looking forward to working with them. When it comes to the appointments to committees, panels and working groups, they are almost all as they are in the report. You've heard about a change to Councillor Smith's position. Also, there was an administrative error where Councillor Gleeson was included in the Licensing and Public Safety Committee twice. Now, I know he works hard and twice as hard as most members, but he won't be able to hold 2 positions. So where it says number 5, Councillor Gleeson, I'm going to change that to Councillor Williams, Councillor Hayden Williams, and Councillor Peter Gabbert, who already sits on 2 other committees of the council, will be replaced on licensing and public safety by your good self, Mr. Mayor, Councillor Paul Wharton-Hardman. But other than that, I'm happy to move the report as printed.
Thank you. Is that seconded?
Seconded.
Thank you. I have been passed an amendment from the Conservative group to this item for the Licensing and Public Safety Committee. There is a proposal that Emma Stevens goes as chair of this committee and Hilary Bedford as vice chair. Could I ask who's proposing this, please? Thank you. Is that amendment seconded? Thank you. Okay, so there is an amendment on the table which has been proposed and seconded that the chair of the Licensing and Public Safety Committee be Councillor Emma Stevens and the vice chair be Councillor Hilary Bedford. Are there any questions or comments from any members of the council? Councillor Forshaw.
What the leader were going on about the Nolan principles for is quite relevant to what I've got to say now. So, over the past couple of months, I've been carrying out an investigation into free VIP tickets being taken by councillors for music in the park. I submitted a Freedom of Information request, and it states that Councillor Lomax received 2 free VIP tickets in 2024 and 2 free VIP tickets in 2023. Councillor Gleeson received 5 free VIP tickets in 2024.
Councillor Forshaw, can I ask you what relevance this is to this item, please?
Because I'm explaining why we've come to the decision we have. And if I'm speaking on the amendment.
Okay, I'll allow it to continue for now, but I may stop you. Could I ask you just to explain why you wish to make these amendments? Thank you.
I'll explain. This event loses circa £150,000 and is propped up by taxpayers' money. Taking free VIP tickets is a scandal. What's worse is that Councillors Lomax and Gleeson did not disclose these free tickets on the register of interests. I remind colleagues that it's a taxpayer-funded event and therefore free tickets were paid for by the taxpayer. I will quote the past monitoring officer if I can. It is a criminal offence to underdeclare your register of interests, and if his advice had been sought on the matter, he would have recommended they were registered. Reform punished us both at the local elections, as they've lost all trust in us. Help us to restore trust would be not to give these members any chair or vice chair position. I'm concerned with the perception of corruption. I'm also concerned in particular with licensing, where these members...
Could I just ask you just to take a seat and ask the interim monitor just to make comments, please? Thank you. Please. Could I ask you to sit down, please? Thank you.
I think the meeting needs to be very careful as to the waters in which it is treading at the moment. It's quite appropriate for a different person to be nominated for a committee member, but in terms of wrongdoing by alleged wrongdoing or allegations of wrongdoing by members, they should be dealt with through a different fashion. So I think that perhaps the member who's proposing needs to slightly moderate what he's saying and comes to the point of his proposal.
Thank you. Councillor Forshaw, I'll allow you to sum up. Thank you.
Thanks for your advice, but I'll carry on. These members being chair and vice chair of licensing have massive legal ramifications. If they're sat on a licensing committee as chair and vice chair, and this is why I'm explaining why we've come to the decision we have as a group. If they're on chair and vice chair, and they make decisions on whether or not people are fit and proper, and it's questioned that they might not be, then I think there's major issues. And that's why we propose to change the chair and vice chair on the amendment.
Thank you, Councillor Forshaw. Is that amendment seconded? Apologies, it has been seconded. Are there any other members of the council who wish to speak on this item? Councillor Bell.
As the past chair of licensing and having served on licensing for a number of years, I'm trying very hard to be diplomatic. I have served with a number of councillors who have been exemplary. They've been from every colour. They've been from blue, they've been independent, they've been liberal, and they've been red. And on that committee, it has been even Stevens. It has never been a political committee. It has been a committee where we have looked at the evidence, we have interviewed a whole range of people with the support of a very good licensing team. Now, I'm saying all that, and Councillor Forshaw was actually on the licensing committee with me as I've been chair. And I find what he is saying incredibly offensive to my colleagues who have served not just on licensing but on the council for a number of years. And in the defence of Councillor Lomax, he was the mayor, and there are certain things that happen to the mayor. You do get free things when you're the mayor. I don't know the detail of Councillor Gleeson, but I'm sure there is a very, very good explanation. And so I'm just challenging it on, is this what we should be saying about each other in full council and on YouTube? So I think you're very wrong. I think you're very wrong in the way you've done this and bringing forward what is a very silly thing to do. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Are there any other members wishing to speak on this amendment? Okay, we shall move to the vote on the amendment. So the amendment is as per the report, with the proposal that the chair of the Licensing and Public Safety Committee be Councillor Emma Stevens and the vice chair of that committee be Councillor Hilary Bedford. Could I please ask you to vote on the amendment? Thank you. That amendment has been lost. We shall now move back to the substantive. Are there any questions or comments from members of the council on the substantive agenda item? Are there any questions? There's no members of the public. Okay, we're now at the end of the debate on that proposal and we'll move to the vote. Thank you. That has been carried. Moving to item number 8, appointments to outside bodies for 2025 to 26. This item is for decision. Can I please ask the Leader of the Council, Councillor Matthew Tomlinson, to present the report?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just present the report as is written.
Thank you. Is that item seconded?
Seconded.
Thank you. Are there any questions from any members of the council? Councillor Karen Walton.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Again, we've been disappointed that the local plan working group has not been reinstated at this important stage of the new Central Lancashire local plan, and we would ask that it would be a consideration to reinstate the local plan working group for the future of our borough and all the issues that we're going to have with planning. Thank you.
Councillor Tomlinson, do you want to come back on that?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I mean, it's not an outside body, and I thought we were doing the outside bodies, but I did say when I spoke, I'm a collegiate and collaborative leader. What I don't respond to is people standing up in full council and demanding things. But if someone wants to come and talk to me about anything, my door will always be open. But we are now debating outside bodies, and if we can keep it to that, I'd be really grateful to you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Are there any other comments or questions from members of the council on this item? No? Okay, we're now at the end of the debate on this proposal and we'll move to the vote. Thank you. That item has been carried. Item number 9, the Constitution Review. As members were advised, this item has been withdrawn and we expect to debate it at the Council in July. Item number 10, Council Meetings. This item is for noting. Can I ask that members of the Council please note the schedule of Council meetings for 2025 and 2026. I'm assuming no one wishes to comment on that. No. Okay, that concludes the business for this evening. Thank you very much for your attendance.